Tonight on DC News Now, early in-person voting starts tomorrow in Virginia. The new polls showing a large lead for some Democrats.
We're going to be tracking the sunshine in a summery feel to round out the week. But let's stick around for the weekend. Those details coming up.
We hit some new lows over the weekend.
Jimmy Kimmel fans stunned over the late night host getting canned. Viewers and lawmakers weigh in on his sudden dismissal.
Halloween shopping may feel more like a trick than treat when you see the price tags.
A costume that would have cost $29.95 for, will be now $34.95, so it might go up a few dollars.
Local stores blaming the frightening costs on President Trump's tariffs, causing shipping delays.
Experience culinary culture during Hispanic Heritage Month. What creepy crawlers are cooking at a popular DC restaurant.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. We are moving right into Friday. It is Baby Friday, and we're going to get a check on the forecast as we take a live look outside right now at National Harbor. Beautiful Ferris wheel. You can see a plane taking some folks off to somewhere fantastic.
Yeah, but you know what? We're going to have some fantastic weather right here in the DMV this weekend. And Jackie, summer is not leaving quite yet.
No, not quite yet. Yeah, we're going to be tracking those warmer temperatures out there, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow's likely the warmest day out of that 7-day forecast. Out there right now, under those mainly clear skies, temperatures still quite mild. We're into those upper 60s to lower 70s after we warmed up into those lower 80s earlier today, thanks to all that sunshine that broke out into the afternoon hours after we did start off with some clouds and even a little bit of that patchy fog, too. High pressure down towards our south and west. That's going to stick around through the end of the week, providing us with the quiet weather and also those dry conditions too through the end of the week. Overnight lows tonight will draw back into those upper 50s, farther off towards the north and west, low to mid 60s closer towards DC. So that's what we start off with early tomorrow morning, and then those temperatures will warm up pretty quickly too. By 11 a.m., just shy of 80, should be into those upper 80s into the afternoon. A bit toasty and a bit muggy out there for your Friday. Certainly feeling summer-like out there for your Friday afternoon, but the weekend not quite as warm, but it's going to feel comfortable. So I have more details, especially for if you have any of those outdoor plans this weekend, all that forecast coming up.
DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and early voting starts tomorrow for Virginia's general election. There are some big races on the ballot, including for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and the House of Delegates. There are 3 polling sites in Fairfax County and 1 each in Arlington and Loudoun counties. Election officials will open up more sites towards the end of early in-person voting. You can also cast an early ballot until November 1st. The general election is November 4th.
And D.C. Council member Robert White says that he is running for Congress against longtime shadow representative and the incumbent Eleanor Holmes Norton.
This year, our city has been attacked relentlessly. Our money stolen, our communities threatened, our children afraid, and no end in sight. We need our best fighters right now. I have never seen my city more vulnerable than we are right now.
Former Microsoft executive Kenny Zelazny announcing her bid for the congressional seat earlier this summer. She was also the Deputy National Finance Chair for the DNC. And earlier this week, a close ally to Congresswoman Norton writing an editorial in the Washington Post telling her to step aside. She is 89. We did reach out to Norton for comment and have not heard back.
Developing now at 9 o'clock, major pushback in Northern Virginia. Neighbors, they're worried about Dominion Energy's latest proposal to power a data center in Loudoun County.
Here's the thing. They say that the plans would create this whole web of power lines right through their backyards. DC News Now's Marie Sisse was at the hearing where families hoped for some answers.
Yeah, Marie, so what was her message to the utility company tonight?
Yeah, the meeting's actually still going on, and it was nearly 1,000 people inside that auditorium, many of them voicing their concerns about Dominion Energy's proposed plan to build these transmission lines either through neighborhoods or near some schools. And it's all part of their plan to really bring more energy to these data centers right here in Loudoun County. Now, there are several routes within this plan, and that involves building these transmission lines. One of the routes is near a school, and Dominion Energy told me that the school has made it clear there. They don't want the transmission lines there. And another possible route goes through a neighborhood near Loudoun Valley Estates. Now, with the increase in data centers around the area, they have to build transmission lines to really bring more power to them. And today's hearing with the State Corporate Commission was for residents to share their concerns and provide evidence. Now, many residents are pushing for the lines to be built underground, though Dominion has said that option is not feasible. Now, until a final decision is made, the company says it will continue to meet with the community to address their concerns. But people here in this neighborhood say they do not want to see it at all.
They're proposing 165 to 185 foot towers, and I would be looking out my backyard and seeing 4 of them within 100 feet of my property. Myself and a number of people in the community are proposing that Dominion put these lines underground.
Now, the SEC says today is one of 2 hearings. Another one will be at the end of the month, and it is the SEC's decision on where these transmission lines will go or if they'll even come to the area. For now, reporting live in Ashburn, Virginia, I'm Yammer Sase, DC News Now.
All right, yeah, meanwhile, heated exchanges on Capitol Hill. D.C.'s top elected officials testifying in front of the House Oversight Committee. The mayor, council chair, and attorney general all in the hot seat, and it got testy. The hearing focused mainly on D.C. crime and safety. It comes as the president's deployment of the National Guard and law enforcement surge continues in the district. Our reporter, Mariel Carbone, is at the meeting. Her full breakdown of what we learned coming up at 9:30. Well, ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late night show following comments he made about Charlie Kirk's killing. Those on-air comments prompted our parent company, Nexstar, to say they would not air the show on ABC stations. People attending the taping of Jimmy Kimmel Live say very few details were given when they were told the show was being canceled.
The Tonight Show was canceled, which made us think something happened at the very last minute that they could not go on with Tonight Show. Maybe there was a car accident or something happened with the guest or someone got sick or, who knows. I was just hoping everyone was okay.
Well, coming up in our next half hour, we'll have reaction from President Trump and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle on Capitol Hill about the stunning and sudden decision.
Meanwhile, we're learning Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, will now be leading Turning Point USA, the organization that he co-founded when he was just 18. The conservative youth activist group has seen a massive surge in interest since Kirk's death. It was gaining in popularity in recent years and was credited with helping to return President Trump to the White House.
All new tonight, we are still in the final days of summer, but the Halloween decorations and costumes, they're already out on store shelves.
That's right. A new survey shows that families are set to spend a record $13 billion. And this even though President Trump's tariffs are apparently creating some scary prices. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg explains how it's impacting local businesses.
Whether they want to be a fairy or a monk, and we have medieval knights and so forth.
At Total Party, Party Costumes and Novelties in Southwest D.C., there are dozens of costumes to choose from.
So we good? We good? Yes. You're going to be fairy. I like that. That fits you like a glove. I wanted to beat the rush, beat the crowd. This is her first Halloween. I just wanted to be prepared.
The National Retail Federation says nearly half of consumers began shopping in September or earlier, a slight increase from last year.
You may notice higher prices this year. That's because of tariffs implemented by the Trump administration. A lot of these costumes are coming from overseas.
We're trying to eat part of it, and I think some of the vendors are trying to eat part of it, but ultimately the customer is going to pay a little bit more this year. Let's say a costume that would have cost $29.95 for, will be now $34.95.
Total Party owner Lorenzo Caltagirone says even with price increases, he expects to lose a lot of money, at least 10% of what they would typically make.
If we pass the entire amount off to the consumer, they may not pay it. They may say, you know what, this is just way too much. So we don't want to discourage any customer not to get a costume or an accessory or decoration.
While they have a lot of inventory, they still have a lot of boxes to unpack, and some still on the way.
The vendors are trying to figure out, hey, can we avoid these tariffs? So a lot of the shipments were delayed, and now there's a pile up.
Some of the costumes may be scary, but the prices don't seem to be scaring anyone away.
Prices is a non-factor. No problem.
When it comes to Halloween, people spend. They open their purse strings. I mean, it's a holiday for all ages, right? And this year it's on a Friday. So we expect higher than normal sales.
In Southwest, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.